Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Mariner of Spirit. I'm Greg, I'm your host, and tonight we have another special guest from the East Coast, a gentleman that I've been watching for quite some time, and I can relate to him 100%. And before he comes on, I just want to mention the few things that I normally do before I start the show. And I'm really excited. It's going to be a great show. So anyway, the first thing I want to mention are the people I support, and the first one is Tim Miley in Potographs, and Tim is the guy who started a charity up after he had lost his pup. He had nowhere to really turn, and he didn't know what he was going to do, and he finally decided to go ahead and he had a picture of himself and his pup and took the picture. He had copies made and went to a Paracon and was able to sell all the pictures. And that's how he started his charity, which is basically the shelter for animal shelters. And all his money goes there. And secondly is PKC, Paranormal Kicks Cancer. That's Chris Gaskowski and Alex Wilkinson from down in Florida. I met them, I don't know how many years ago, Old South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Uh, Great people, always have great stories to tell. Every year, they have a schedule of events that they do, and they go around and do things like haunted houses and paranormal investigations and things, and the money they raise all goes to cancer research. And thirdly is the Jessica Petrie Foundation. Jessica was the daughter of Howard Petrie from the Pun Network, and that was a foundation that was uh, founded on resource for expecting mothers, families of pregnant women with mental illness. And, Howard hasn't been feeling good lately. So, along with these foundations and the other things that I'm going to mention about authors, I would love for you guys all to send some prayers Howard's way. That would be really nice. And he's a great guy. And it's one of those times. Prayers help. That's for sure. And then I would like to go through my authors and the authors that I sort of have been looking at and supporting and reading. And Dr. Heather Lee Langdon. You got Ron Iacovetti. You got Lynn Monet. You got Dr. Rebecca Foster. You have Bruce Halliday. You have Rex Nielsen. You have Tobias Wayland, Todd Bates, and that's it for right now. I'm probably missing one or two, that's for sure. But before I go any farther, I don't want Mr. Victor Santiago to go ahead and fall asleep. So I'm going to bring him on right now. Hi, Vic.
Hey, what's going on, Greg?
Okay,
Hi, everyone.
Okay. This is
Hi, Nancy. Danny.
this is a great night because you're one of those people that's up on the top of the ladder. So that every time you get to see somebody with the class that you personify in your role as a podcaster, you put a lot of thought and work into what you put into a show every day
Right.
that you're on, and I just wanted to let you know that. And then what I would like you to do for the people that come into the room that don't really know you, why don't you go ahead and give them just a little synopsis of what you have been about, what you are about today.
Well, For those that don't know me, my name is Victor Santiago. That's my government name. I go by the Don Vic Show. That's my stage name, character, whatever you want to call it. Um, I'm out of Boston, Massachusetts, and I am a talk show host. I am an actor, award winner for best host, and CEO of R&L Records.
When you went ahead and you started saying that about being an actor and that, I thought that it would be best for you to mention that because, you know, it's a great thing to have somebody like you on
Thank you.
who is so multifaceted. I am not close to that, so that's what makes it very, very interesting. Now,
Well,
I know that you've been. Were you always in Boston?
yes, I'm born and raised out here in Boston. But I visited other states. A lot.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but I'm originally from Boston, Mass. Yeah.
Do you do any paracons or anything like that?
Not really.
Not really. So you most of your message all comes through your podcast,
Yeah.
which is the real. I think that's pretty cool
Yeah.
because some of us still have to go to the paracons because nobody knows who we are, but everybody but everybody knows you.
um, you know, a good amount know me. I've been doing this for over like 5 years, so I've been putting in a lot of work. So I just didn't start this, and I've been doing it for a while, and I've been blessed to have the type of guests that I have on my show. You know, and you know, and I just want to say that what I do is not a big thing. It's not a magical thing. Anyone can do what I do and get to where I get. You just got to put in the work. Nothing is going to come to you, beat on your lap. It all depends on you. It's your goal, your dream, right? And it's only um a fulfilled dream if you go all the way with it. Because if you don't go all the way with it, then it's just a dream. You know. So
I know that some of the shows when you had the sing off,
yeah.
that was that was just unbelievable. I didn't know how the heck you kept up with all that stuff that was going on those shows.
Yeah, well, I'm very creative. I like to create things, and I like to think out the box. And I thought that show would be a great show, um, to show talent. Because there's a lot of individuals that are out there that can sing, really sing, and don't have an opportunity to shine or don't have an idea where to go to show their talent. So I created that platform so they can have a place to go and show their talent. And then I got the viewers as voters as well to engage with what I'm doing, not just me doing the show and the guests, just leaving comments, but now they can leave comments and be a voter and maybe be a fan of one of these individuals that come on the show, And so I think it was a great thing to do. I got a lot of people involved in it, and it's going pretty good now. I'm getting very great singers now coming aboard.
Oh yeah, there seems to be quite a few. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm still stuck on like Emmy
yeah,
when Emmy was singing.
yeah.
You
Emmy
know,
was one. Yeah, she was one of the first ones that started. So from then on, it's been it's been it's been stepping up with as far as singers. So this tomorrow I have one at 7 o'clock with Catalina Santana and Josie. She's 16 years old, but she can really sing. So I can't wait to see who's gonna. They both can sing. So I want to see who takes it.
so that must bring a great deal of joy to you to go
Yes,
ahead and have people come on and show the raw talent.
yes,
You
yes.
know,
I'm a big Greg. I'm a big fan of people. I love people. You know, and and it took me a long, long time to be able to to like people and even say I love people because I've been in a dark place and I just didn't trust people. So it took me a while and to understand how God worked, and put stuff in my heart to change me for who I am today. So it's it's a great thing that the change is a great thing.
So how long you been acting?
Since 2018. I've been
I,
acting since 2018.
how did you get in on it?
Um, I
Just
was
out of curiosity.
well, it's funny you say that. We was shooting a music video, right? We were shooting a music video for one of my friends out here, and this guy, which I met there, and we became good friends. He Sonny Thompson, may he rest in peace. He passed away. Um, he was it there, and we were shooting the video, and I pulled up in my motorcycle because I had a motorcycle crew. Um, and we pulled up for the video, and he was there. We started talking, and I was like, he was like, "What you doing next?" I said, "Well, my next thing I'm thinking is to shoot a movie." And he was like, "You know what? I was thinking the same thing." I was like, "Really?" So we just started talking, kind of, getting situated, and then we left. And about a week or two later, he calls me up. He goes, "Hey, I got a script, and I want you to play one of the major characters."
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I said, "Okay, so how we going to do this?" So we kind of planned it a little bit how we was going to do it, and we did it, and that's how I got started.
Did you shoot it around Boston or where'd you
Yeah, we
shoot it?
shot it out here in Boston. We shot it out here in Boston, and it's on YouTube, um, and that was my first time ever acting.
Since then, have you picked up any how could you say
Any other roles?
have you fine tuned any particular parts of you to be adjustable for these different roles?
No, I go with the flow.
Okay.
I see, director may say, "Hey, I got a role for you," and run down the characters for me, and and tell me. Some don't. Some just be like, "We got a movie. Here's the script. Read it, and you're in." And I've been blessed that some of the films that I've been in, I haven't even had to audition. You know, I've been that blessed. They just like me and think that I fit the character. To say, "Hey, here's a role." And I read it, and I play it out.
Do you have a lot of guests that come on your show that are in the paranormal community?
Yeah, paranormal has been really, really good to me. As far as friends and stuff, everybody, has been uh very, very nice to me, and supported me.
Do
You
you
know,
do you do you investigate yourself?
no, I'm not an investigator at all. I don't do paranormal at all. I was just um Brian Lavardi saw my show one time, and he liked it, my show. He liked the energy that I was bringing to my platform, and he said, "I want you on my platform." And I said, "Well, I'm not a paranormal investigator. What would I do? I mean, I love the paranormal, but I'm not. That's not what I do. I'm on a different field." He was like, "I don't care. I want you in there." And I said, "Okay." I went in there because it was another platform, and that's how I came into the Parapost network. But the first person I had on my show as a paranormal was Brandon Crody.
Oh wow.
Brandon Crody was the first person, and then after them, everybody started coming. Marcus Wells, Mark Lee, Lisa Marie, like so many other people came um, after that, and it would just got out of control. It just got out of control, Greg.
You mean the lights? Did the lights start to flicker and everything when they came
I'm
on and
telling.
stuff like?
Listen, I was looking around, and my shirts were walking by themselves.
Oh,
Okay.
I you know that I was going through everything that you sent me.
Right.
And I was going through it all, and I'm going, you know, how would Don Vick, the show, not have any paranormal on it, because there wasn't anything listed on there. And then I thought, well, you got to be as dumb as a box of rocks, because this guy has everybody coming on his shows, right?
Yeah, I do. It was just so much to write. I was trying to just give you
I know.
something real quick. You know, I don't put the paranormal because I'm not part of it. I I I, I don't investigate. I only talk about it when I have them as guests on my show and we talk about it. But other than that, like I'm not in. I come to you guys' pages to see what you guys are doing and check it out to kind of more show support. Like I'm
Right.
watching you.
Right. Right.
I'm here. I'm watching you and support because you guys have a big platform and sometimes I look at some of you guys that are in the same group and it's a large group, thousands of you guys in one group, and I wonder sometimes, you know, with so many friends on our list and stuff, why everyone has low views.
Well, you know what? I think it's because of the diversity of the platforms and
Okay,
what drives people to go in a particular direction.
okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah, fair
And
enough, fair enough.
and you have people that, like, for instance, right now, Anthony's not on here. I'm a member of Anthony's group.
Oh, Anthony, yeah, my man, 50 grand.
Yes. And
Yeah,
Anthony, I'll tell you, I've been in the paranormal for, I think, about right around 8 years now.
yeah.
And I've been with two other groups, and they could not hold a candle next to what Mr. Anthony does. I mean, with his work and with his background and
Yeah.
the time he puts into it. And, that's the kind of thing that carries people. And, I have different families too. I have a family at Supernatural Inc. That's
Okay.
one of my families. And the other one is Bigfoot and the Bunny, Chris
Okay.
Carr and Kristen Johnson. And they're from Connecticut.
Oh, they're down the street from me.
Yeah. And they're they are absolutely awesome people. Like the lady in the room right now, Anne Marie Young,
Yes.
she is a good close friend of ours too, from Chris and Kristen. And I wouldn't want it any other way.
She's from Rhode Island. That's down
Yeah.
the street too. That's down the street too. It's only like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I just don't know how that works, because every time they go ahead and they talk and they say, well, I'm driving over here, I'm going to Rhode Island, or I'm going here, and it's like, well, you better
Yeah.
pack some clothes and some food and everything, because
You
who
know,
the
some
dog
of
is.
some of the states that we have here are close. We're
Yes.
probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, 3 hours away, 4 hours away. So you can drive to different states within a day. You can go on and come back. Like I can go to New York. I can go to New York right now. It'll take me like 3 hours
Well,
to get there, and it all depends on the highway. If I go late at night, I'll probably get there, a little sooner than that.
so of all the different characters that you played in that, there was you had something down concerning an award. You were the best at an award
Yeah,
for
well,
best.
here's the award here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, um, best event host, best event host.
Okay, so you are the man then. So we all have to go ahead and try to stay even with you.
No, man, Greg, I
I
don't.
I I just pulling your leg.
I know you are because I don't. I don't. I look at. I'm average. I'm just like you. I'm just a regular guy. Whatever people stamp me as, that's their opinion, and I guess that's okay if that's who they think or believe I am. That's fine. I don't walk around with a certain stamp on me. Like
a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, no, that's not me. What I like to do is, and I said it on my show last week. I post a lot of things, and I showed you this. And I say certain things, and it's not to brag because I don't brag about nothing I do. I do it to inspire people. You know, I show this to inspire. Man, someone wants to get one, you go out and get one. You might get one, you might get two, or one bigger than mine. But at least it's a start for those that want to be inspired into what I is that I'm doing. You know, and that's the key.
So that's really something though. I mean, for the amount of time you've been doing this,
Yes.
and then you just got that award this year.
No, this award was last year, 2 years ago. I got this 2 years ago, and it was a great feeling to be recognized from someone that don't even know you from a hole in the wall.
So they
Uh,
all voted. They all voted for you.
yeah, their team voted for me. Yes, and I did something special for them as well. They were having an event, and I had all their major actors come on my show for promotion and for an interview for the film that they were doing at that time.
Wow, that's really cool because that's where I've been wanting to go out to South Carolina because there's a Haygood Mill is out there, and a friend of ours has been doing a Paracon out there,
Mm,
and he did it the first year, and then I missed it. So I was going to do it this year, and then he couldn't do it. So now we're looking at the third year, and I wanted to do that kind of work. I wanted to be able to interview, do live
mhm.
from the Paracon and interview the people that were speaking and then the vendors and things like that. So
Right.
anybody that interested me or that I thought would be good for the audience to get a look at and learn about their products and their services or whatever they happen to be.
Right.
And it was that kind of thing. I got myself really moving on it, and then when it fell through, it was like, boy, it was a kick in the nads.
It's not easy.
No, it's not. It happens. It happens. If that didn't happen, then some other things would have.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're all in that position. We're all decent people.
Yes.
We've all come on, and if I run into you at a show somewhere,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna give you a hug,
Oh, of course.
because you
Yeah.
know what I mean. And there's so many other people
Right.
in other different places in life that you see that they would never think twice of doing anything like that.
Right.
And
Right.
that this is the kind of thing that carries you, that makes you a better person.
Right. I agree. Listen, Greg, I enjoy doing what I do because I meet people from all over the world, very good people and kind of people, and I got a lot of people that's been on my show, and I can't say that one person was a bad person, or gave me any bad energy. But it's amazing, and because of it, I've been invited to so many events. I got like 3 films coming up, and more that are being offered, but I can only do so much. I'm only one guy. Um,
Was What are those three that are coming up?
so we have Skate to Hell, uh,
Okay.
directed by Sean C. Phillips and produced by Nicole Phillips. And there is Farmhouse Murders with Kevin Duffy directing that. And there is the TV series. It's going to be a TV series called Pagan. Um, and I'll be playing in that as well. So those even haven't even come out yet or even started to film. I mean, April, and yeah, next in April, I'll go to Vegas to start to film Skate to Hell. So
And
that's what
what kind of movie is that going to be?
that's a horror and comedy film. Yeah, it's a horror and comedy film. We got some great a listers on that on this movie. Um, that everyone's gonna recognize a lot of those actors. They've been around the industry for a lot of years, been in a lot of films. But just to be able to be there, Greg, and work with these people side to side, and get to know them a little bit, by conversating with them and looking at the body movement and the conversation, man. A lot of these people are amazing people like you and me. They just got a big position. They just hold a big position, you know. But they're human, man. Like you and I. There's nothing crazy about bumping into Tom Arnold. For he's just a regular guy like you and me. And he's funny. you know.
He's been around for a long time.
Yes, and he's still getting play. He's still getting booked for films, which is a great thing. Some actors fade out, because they can't get work, and he's working. He just did this movie with us not last year, a year and a half now. He got booked. So did Bei Ling. Bei Ling did the movie The Crow. The Philippine girl.
The remake? No, that's the remake.
The no, the first one that first came out, The Crow with Brandon Lee. She was in that one.
Oh, she was. Oh, so
She
she
yeah.
was like the princess.
Yeah, she played. She was like no, she was part of the bad team.
The
She was the
bad
one.
guys.
Yeah, she was pulling out their eyes. She was like the eyes. With the crow came and she was saying the eyes. She
Yeah,
had the ponytail. Her. So
that's a shame. He died.
yeah, yeah.
That
It
man
is.
was just unbelievable.
Yeah,
I still have that movie, and
yeah.
every so often I'll go ahead and play it.
The Crow is a great movie.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so she was in that first one that came out. So just working with them side to side and knowing that when I was a kid, I used to look up to these people. Say, man, someday I would love to be working with. Then it was a dream. It was a dream then. I was dreaming to one day be, in a film, working side by side by these actors, and I finally got there, Greg. It took me a while. I had to put in a lot of work, a lot of networking, a lot of flying, and a lot of sacrifice to get to where I'm at today. I just want people to know that
Oh,
the people that I know, the people I bring on my show, I work hard for that. You know what I mean? It didn't just fall in my lap. So, like, earlier on the show, earlier today, I was talking about that on my podcast. I mean, on my live, that you don't know how hard some individuals work hard to get certain guests on your show. you know, and then you got some other people that don't want to put in the work, but yet want to take that guest and put them on the show. So I think that's a little disrespectful, especially if you're not asking permission. If you can bring that guest on a show after you had worked so hard because people don't know. When you get a good guest on your show, you don't know the loops I have to go through. You don't know if I have to talk to an agent to get that guest on my show. You don't know anything, you know. And I bring this guest on my show, and then out of the blue, someone on your page says, "Oh, I want a friend request, and I bring him on my show." That's kind of like personal. The friends on your list are personal. That's like me grabbing your phone, going your phone, and
right,
going through your contacts, and then just stop at random name and call. Say, "Hey, yeah, I'm Greg's friend. Can I have your number? Be friends." You don't know that person.
right,
I mean, same thing here. So, you know, uh, that's why my list is short. I should have over 6,000, 7,000 people, following me, but I don't. Only got like not even barely 3,000, and that's because I changed my strategy. I don't accept people that friend requested me if I don't know them. You have to be recommended, or I have to know you for you to get on my page.
I agree with that 100% because you just don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
And then on the other network on YouTube, there seems to be a whole other element of people that go around just trying to destroy people.
Yeah, well, I was told one day, and I didn't believe it. Now I'm starting to see it, and I ain't nowhere. I'm not. I'm not where I want to be, right? But I see the BS. They said that once you start to grow and get to a certain level, the BS is going to start. You know, that's when the devil is going to attack the most. You know, when you're succeeding, and it's so true. Because when before I wasn't nobody, there was nobody trying to sabotage my page or going on my page. I didn't care who was on my page. Now it's different. Now I got a lot of people friend requesting me. I don't even know who they are. Some I had to take some of my people out because they were cloud chasing. Or opportunist. I had to take out my page. So you know, and so I keep it small. I keep the circle small.
So when you were getting ready to do this way back in the day before you even had an idea that this was going to be it, did you have a dream or anything that happened to you that sort of inspired you as far as what direction you needed to go in?
I always knew I wanted to be in the entertainment business as a kid because my father, my mom, my uncles, they're all musicians. My mom used to sing, my pa played guitar, and he played congas and maracas. So as a kid, I grew up. My grandfather used to sing and play. My uncles all play instruments. So I grew up in that environment. So I always wanted to be a musician. Either a musician, a singer. I sing a little bit. I'm not the greatest singer, but I can hold a tone. And I did some rapping. So I started there. Um, but it was so much competition. It was so harder back in the days to get into the music industry. You either had to have a lot of money, or you had to know somebody. Or other than that, you had to go out there and put in your own work. But if you're not a known artist, it's hard.
Yeah, that was where I thought that would be is very interesting to see because I know that I never looked at this as being something that I thought I might be able to pull off or do.
Yeah.
And I'll say pull off because really I'm a fisherman
Okay.
and I'm a paranormal investigator and
Okay.
I go outside a lot. I'm always out
Okay.
in the elements. I'm always fishing and I don't fish for little fish, I fish for big fish. So I fish for muskies.
Yeah.
So, they're real big toothy guys and I've been doing that for a long, long time and I fished pro for 15 years.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd end up in this particular genre, if you want to call it that.
Right.
But
Right.
it actually pumps me up and it inspires me. It makes me want to go ahead and actually learn things and understand. And I've come around considerably compared to when I first started because I was ready to break my screen,
Right.
just trying to go ahead and get everything sorted out right and get the people all lined up and that kind of crap. And I didn't have a anybody that could really help me out. They sort of just went ahead and like threw me down and said, "Get up and swim," like
Right.
it threw you in the deep end. So it. I'm glad I am where I am. I still have a hell of a lot to do
Good.
too. So are you a big sports fan?
I love basketball. I love basketball. Celtics has always been my team. Uh, and football, the Patriots at one time.
Well, I'm with the Bears,
Okay, Chicago.
and I've been with the Bears. I was at the '63 championship
Mm,
as a kid, and when it was played in Wrigley Field. They didn't even have a real football stadium,
oh wow.
and the Chicago Cardinals played there too.
Uh,
So that's how far back that goes. But I was curious about that. Uh, do you do anything outside? Do you do you fish at all or anything?
uh, you know what's funny? You say that. I grew up. With my pops and my grandfather fishing. In Puerto Rico. Because we lived near the ocean and stuff. But it was. I never took no interest in it.
You,
But I don't mind. I don't mind doing it.
you don't you do you think that down the road you might swing back around and take another look see at it?
Maybe. Because what I did notice about it, it was relaxing. You know, just sitting there. At that time, my father, would drink beers and sit there and just wait for the rod to nip, and the challenge, and then the challenge with fighting with the fish. I liked it that part,
Yeah,
because you had to bring them in, and,
yeah.
and my father used to give me the rod, and the fish must have been like 50 pounds, was probably 10 pounds heavier than me, and I got the rod like this, and I'm like,
I you know I have grandsons, and when they were little, and they're going to be their first fish. I've never seen anything like that in my whole, and I imagine I was the same way. You're so pumped up, and they had the rod in their hand, and the reel handle was like almost upside down, and they were doing this, and they were going oh 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 oh, and they're screaming and yelling on the boat, and people are looking, and it's like, what the hell's going on out there? What's he beating them or what? He's got a fish on. And I got some pictures of my two oldest that now are, they got me by a foot and a half, and they're in high school. And
nice.
when you see those pictures, and they had their sunglasses were on crooked and their hats were sideways, and you see that, that's the kind of stuff that you really understand what it's about.
Yes, that's and I say that I everything I do, Greg, is for my family. You know, my family and and my close friends. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna be this big star or this big whatever, but I'm pushing to become that. You know, to be able to be that successful in my family. Where I can look back and say, man, I did all the struggling. I took all the pain and everything, the sacrifices for my family. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking everything in for my family. Uh,
Are you by yourself? Or are you married or what?
no, I'm not married. I've been single for 10 years.
You sort of
I've dated, and I get calls from friends of mine, but as far as relationship or marriage, no, that's no.
Yeah, that's some of that's, I've been married way too long. But
I
you know
mean,
what? There's a reason for it.
yeah,
I haven't figured it out yet.
right. I think for me, Greg, for me, going through what I've been through in my relationships back, it's I'm not gonna blame it on them because I've done my share of bad things too, right? But right now for me that would be a setback, because I don't have time to worry about the next person. I gotta worry about me, where I gotta go right now, and focus on what I need to focus on, and and just get to my goals.
I can
I could probably date, go out maybe on the weekend, chill for a day or two, and she go home, I go home, I don't want to see it, like that could happen. But as far as me, like, living situation, I don't think that would ever happen because I don't think I'm ready for that.
Well, you know how things change,
Yeah, things change.
right, Dan? You know that they just it's amazing how all of a sudden, okay, Joanne Stewart says that needs a good Canadian woman.
Yeah, where's she at? Where's she at, Joanne?
Would hunt
introduce, introduce her.
with a big pair of hunting boots on and
Yeah,
probably a good 12 gauge shotgun.
I like those. I like those because she can protect me. I need protection. You should be my bodyguard.
There's a lot of neat people in her today, and that's a reflection of who you are. That's for sure. That's really great.
Yeah,
And
you know.
if it's okay, I'm going to mention them
Yeah, go
real
ahead.
fast. We got Danny Botts, you got Nancy Noonan Kelly, we got Sydney Reyes, Anne Marie Young, Anne Marie, Joanne Stewart, Debbie Wallace Hagan. Like didn't take my speed reading course this week. Uh, Danny Botts. You always got your basement people, Greg. That's a saying that's passed down from the Lord and Master of the abode, and that what that applies to is that why don't I stay upstairs instead of always being with my basement people?
That was good, then, Danny. That was a good one.
It's like, what am I going to? This is where it is. This is where it's supposed to be. So, for the next, say, for instance, the next 5 years, do you have any goals that you've established, or any ways of really looking at things and saying, if this happens, I'm going to do this? And
Yeah, well, I always have a plan. You know,
okay,
you gotta have a plan because if you don't have a plan, then you just moving with no guidance. You know, um, that's why it makes it so difficult and a lot of work because you can see clearly where you want to be and what you want. What your goals are. So 5 years from now, I would love to have my own uh talk show, maybe somewhere in Hollywood, like the Ellen Show, the Senior Hall Show, something like that. I shoot high. Not saying that I'm gonna get there, but at least I have a vision of where I want to be. That's high bars for me. So if I don't make it there and but I get close, at least I know I'll be in a great position to either help people, uplift people to positions where they want to be, you know, um, but that will be one of my goals, and maybe to become a great actor, you know, maybe a A-list actor.
do you
You
think TV holds any promise for you?
Um, I don't know, but I'm not shooting for anything. I'm just shooting for legacy.
Yeah,
I just want to have something for my kids to look at, 10 years from now, or my grandkids when I'm no longer here and say, what was grandfather like? Where was grandpa like? My kids can say, well, here's a movie. This is what your grandfather did. And maybe inspire them to become great actors and maybe they make it bigger than me. But at least
okay.
it's but at least I'm leaving a legacy behind where people in general uh can always look me up and remember me for the good things that I've done for people and the stuff that I've done in the industry.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's well spoken.
Right.
It's hard to go ahead and have somebody speak from the heart like that, and I really appreciate that because I know it's from your heart.
Right.
I could just tell by how you say it, and it. If there were more people like you in the paranormal community, I think there would be a lot less of the crap that goes on.
Yeah. Yeah, we all different, and this that you see here is that's all come from, you know, my experiences, to be humble the way I am. And I have great parents, even though they didn't speak the English language very well. They didn't finish school, but they have principles, and and they give them to me, and I stuck by that all the time. And that's the greatest thing that I picked up from my parents and my experiences. To learn from them and become better. And no matter what anyone thinks about me, don't matter. You know, because I'm going to be doing me regardless. As long as I don't hurt nobody along the way. With what I'm doing, and as long as I stay out the way, stay humble, mind my business, then I should be okay.
I know that, in especially in the world today, it seems there's more of a demand for people that are bilingual too.
Right. Well,
And
yeah.
go ahead.
Latin people, we're all over the country. We're not just in one state or two states.
Right,
We're nationwide, and it's Latin. It's kind of like the first language, if you ask me. Anywhere you go around the world, somebody knows Spanish.
right.
We're everywhere. But um, it's great to know the language. But other than that, I strive for bigger for bigger things in life. You know.
Well, that's important. There's a lot of people that are your age, not really my age because I'm older than you are.
Well,
That
I'm up there. I'm up there. I just look a little young, but I'm up there. I'm in my 50s.
yeah. But you look at people and you go ahead and you say, "Wow, this is great that he still has goals." And Pam Harris is here.
Yeah, it's my good
And
friend Pam.
she's a good lady.
Actually, she's gonna be one of my judges for the show on Saturday for the Showdown Challenge.
Oh wow, for the singing.
Yeah, for the singing contest.
Oh, that ought to be really neat.
Yeah, Pam and Johnny Knuckles, MMA fighter.
Have you ever done? Have you ever done any or had any interviews with people that have done cold cases?
Cold cases?
Yeah,
Um,
just out of and I just thrown that out there because Pam was on, and we have shows. I have two shows myself, and my partner has two shows. So
mm,
we have 4 nights out of the week that we do
right.
shows. And then we have another one that's Psychics Unite on Mondays. But Pam was on, and we were helping her out with spirit box work on this cold case.
Mm.
And that was the last time that I really saw her. So it's really neat to see her again.
Yeah. I mean, those are the good things of the paranormal that I like to watch. When you guys go do the live investigations, because I learn from it too, um, and just because of my parents' background, it's always been an interest to me to know about the paranormal, and know what's in between, what's in between heaven and hell. So we know it's the paranormal spirits, and the fact that you guys communicate is out of this world. To hear
Yeah.
spirits talk through this box. I wish that it could be clearer. I would try to. That would be my mission. My mission as a paranormal investigator would be to work on a box to see how close I can get to hearing the voices clearer.
My partner, Reggie Randall, and I don't know if you really know him or not,
No, I don't.
but Reggie is a star seed. Claims he's a star seed, and he's a star seed, and he communicates on a different level
Mm,
than I do or anybody around me does. I still have the utmost respect, and I do not try to provoke or anything like that, like some of these idiots do.
Right.
And I'll just use that as a good medium word there, idiot. But when you take that into consideration and you take what this guy could do, some of the stuff you're going to have to hear, because it gets absolutely amazing. Because first time I met him, we went into a cemetery. We went there together, and he started working the cemetery, and would work a row, and every tombstone that he went by, he would say, "Hello, Mister So and So.
Mm.
How are you? I'm Reggie. I came here to just say hi and see how you were doing, and see if I can help you out." And this gentleman's name, the way I read it, because I came from Chicago, was Reardon. Reardon.
Mm.
Okay. And he said, "Hi, Mr. Riordan. How are you?" And I said, It's not Riordan, it's Reardon." Guess what came through the spirit box?
I have no idea.
Riordan.
Really?
And I says, "Wow." I says, right off the bat, first place that we stop,
Mm.
he's going to correct me. And
Wow.
I says, "Hey, Mr. Riordan, that's fine. I'm sorry for screwing up your name."
I would have been running.
Oh, no, it's the kind of stuff that really gets you going. and
Right,
and
right.
you know because you're doing things that other people never even tried to do, or talk to your grandma or talk to your mother
Right.
if she's passed, and people
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And I have a spot, and you're going to probably think I'm crazy, but I have a spot that I go to, and it's part of my development,
Okay.
my my psychic development, and it's a big field,
Mm.
and I can set it up any way I want. So I've got this big sprawling deck
Okay.
with these big puffy lawn chairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all my old relatives that have passed, even grandparents that I have never met,
I sit in there.
are there,
Mm.
and I could go up and talk to them.
Wow.
And I'm getting goosebumps right now, but it's it gives you the the fuel to carry you on in your pursuit, whether it happens to be continuously into this, or into podcasting, or spirit box communication,
Right.
anything, because that's the kind of stuff you don't make up.
Right. Right.
You know
And
what I
that's why
mean?
I love it. That's why I love, the live one. I watch some paranormal sometimes on TV, but a lot of it is fixed or whatever. That's fine. If you want entertainment, you know. But if you want the real deal, right there, boom, you saw it. Your eyes ain't gonna lie. Then you watch the paranormal feel like you guys that go out live and you guys catch whatever it is that you catch. You
Yeah,
know,
we have
that way
been.
then unbelievers have to believe because they saw it themselves. So
Well,
you can't say,
there's still skeptics.
yeah, but
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's the
right,
world's filled with those.
right. I'll be skeptic watching the ones on TV, the entertainment ones. But if I'm watching something live, what you seeing, I'm seeing. So if you see something and I have to see it too. You know what I mean? So you can't deny that what you just saw, it's not real. You know what I mean?
I started out, when I first got into it. I started doing photography, and the photography that I started doing, I the first thing that I captured was a full-bodied apparition.
Mm,
And at the end of the show, I will show you this after we
okay.
close, because it's really hard for me to hold it up because I have tremors,
Okay.
and I have no problem admitting to that. That's part of what happened when I was in the service. But the point of it being is that if you see something like this and you hear the story behind it,
Mm,
I may plant a seed.
mm.
Okay. And I'm not doing this deliberately to you. I don't want you coming back at me, throwing rocks at me in 3 years and saying, you know, good, rotten, whatever you want to
I'm
call
a I'm gonna send the goons over there. Yeah, I gotta go. I need you to go see Greg.
it. Go
Okay,
see Greg.
go see Greg and watch it.
Give,
He's military.
give,
He might have some bombs in there.
give Greg a ride.
Yeah, give him a ride. Bring him to me.
It's that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
that, really does something where people start to understand that there is more to this than what we think there is.
Yes, there's so much more. That's why it interests me to watch it. I just, I'm just waiting for that. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I think I'm just waiting for that stuff that no one have done on paranormal, has brought, you know, to the audience, something to blow people's mind. That's what I'm waiting for, you know. And what it is, I don't know. Could be a full body premonition, or a device that when you see a spirit, it'll show the spirit, boom, like it'll show the whole body or the face. That'll be like something for the future, or somebody can come up with some type of idea like that.
Do you believe in aliens?
Of course, we're not the only. Whoever believes that we're the only living in this whole planet must be out of their mind.
I don't. That just came right out. I don't know why. I thought this would be interesting just to ask him that part, because we're some of us are at a stage where we believe they're all one and the same: ghost, aliens, apparitions. Nancy Noonan Kelly, she gave you pretty much an essay there. It looks like.
Um, she said, "Vic, I appreciate your struggle. My cousin is a publicist in L.A. Gallywood, and he started out as an actor when he was young and struggled for years out there. Any entertainment business is a super tough, heartbreaking for times. Field and not a friendly business. Keep the faith. When luck runs out, drive carries you through." Yeah, I think I agree to that at some point, degree, because the entertainment world can be a up and down thing. It's a roller coaster, right? And what I've noticed, this time that I've been in this industry, and I'm starting to learn because I'm still learning, is a lot of the successful people in the show business is because of who they know. You know, you can be a great actor, you can be a superb actor, but if you don't got connections, then you're just a perfect actor, great actor. What moves the ball is the connections, is the people you know. So if you connect yourself with the right people, with the people that are making the movements behind everything, then you're pretty much on the right track. But if you're around the people that are not making them type of moves, then you're just stuck in that circle. Uh,
Are there any people that are on your list right now for coming on your show that really have impressed you to the point that they went to the top of the list?
oh, yeah, I got I got plenty of people that I work with. These big celebrities that I work with, stars. That's my drive. if I can get that close to be able to do a film with with these individuals, then how high can I go?
Yeah,
You
just keep
know,
on going.
right? So it's all about networking. It's about who I know. And the more I go out and do these things, the more I go to these events, the more people I meet, then you start to expand. More and more and more till you get to the right people.
Have you
Uh,
ever? Do you know who the Booth brothers are?
the Blues Brothers,
Booth,
Booth Brothers. No, I don't.
Christopher Saint Booth,
No, I don't know who they are.
and his brother, and they're two. They were born in England, and they came over here, and they do basically horror movies.
No, the only one I know is Sean C. Phillips that does the horror movies that I know in California. He's the director shooting uh, Skate to Hell. That's the only person I know. I mean, there's other Kevin Duffy's doing something like that as well. Um, but no, I don't know those people.
Okay, I was just curious because
Yeah, yeah,
they've been in the paranormal for quite some time, and
yeah.
they always pull people in from the community to do it. And I've never got into it, but I always had a wild hair, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
How much? It, it's 10:04. Do you want to hang on for a couple more minutes, or do you
Yeah,
want to
we
end
can
it?
hang on. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay. Is
Um,
there anything else that you want to mention?
well, let me reply to Danny. I do got some people out in Chicago. I will be going to Chicago soon, though, Danny. I just don't know if it's going to be at the end of this year, but I definitely got to go out there. There's a film that a friend of mine is working on, and he wants me to play lead role of a sheriff. So hopefully, I'll be out there in Illinois somewhere. So yeah, and I know people everywhere. That's the thing, Greg. I got people in mostly every state you can mention. I know somebody. That's either in the entertainment. Either a director, actor, comedian, or something, a fighter. I know. A lot of people, and that's through my networking. And it's just great. Because you're gonna go fly somewhere. Say you're gonna go fly out. Say your wife says, "Hey, let's Greg, let's go to Hawaii." You say, "Okay." You already got somebody in Hawaii that you know that you can contact to have dinner that can show you the place around, and maybe go there and get interview on their platform in Hawaii Live. So, those are the things that I see, you
Okay.
know, the other things that I see that could benefit me when I go to these places and I see my friends and hey, boom, you're at the studio, yeah, can I come through? Boom. Because that way you're expanding yourself. There's strategies that I use when I go out, I just don't go out without having a plan. I got a plan. Say if I'm gonna go to Craig, say I'm gonna go. Where you from, Craig?
Where am I from?
Yeah, like
Chicago.
okay,
Chicago.
Chicago. Say I'm gonna go to Chicago for a trip or whatever. I said, well, let me call Greg. Maybe I can come by the studio and get a quick interview. But Craig, boom, and just get on your live and get
Just
promoted
come.
on your channel. Or I'll call my other boy in Chicago. Say, hey, I'm in town. I just left my brother Craig. Can I come through your studio? Yeah, come through. Boom. So I make my time worth. When I go to places.
Well, as long as you've taken the time to get there, that's the least thing you can do to
Yeah.
help offset everything. I know there's a whole bunch of things that have been going on lately with the paranormal and the way everybody's been looking at it. And
Oh well.
I just keep on sitting there going ahead and saying, well, you know, that's for them.
Well, that's why Craig. Now that you're touching that subject, you know that's one of the reasons why I left Parapost Network. It was too toxic for me. I I do take negativity and I turn it into positive things. That's the one thing I've learned how to do. Take the negative that comes my way and I turn it into something positive. but it
You,
was too much toxic. I couldn't take it all to make it
you have gifts,
right. You
Don.
know,
You have gifts, that you're actually using, and
right.
that's one of them. And that's
Thanks.
great. That's
Right.
perfect.
Right. So,
And
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to keep you in the loop. And if there's ever anything that I could do for you,
Right.
please, you know, give me a call, look me up, send me a message,
Right.
whatever, because these relationships are what's going to last us.
It-
It's not any of the other ones.
you hit it right in you did hit it right in the button. That's what matters to me. It's the friendship. It's not about the show. It's not, we all have, it's about the friendship. When you meet great people, you got to keep that friendship because good, good people are hard to find, or to work with, you know, and when I find people like that, I embrace that, and I got a lot of you guys that I embrace and I love so much, for what you do and for what you guys stand for. But that's just me, man. I admire helping people. I admire giving advice if I can and stuff like that. But the key is to help one another grow. It's not about me growing by myself. I know from people from the outside looking at me from the inside, say, "Oh, Victor's doing all this." Yeah, I'm doing all that, but I'm still me. I'm not big headed about being at the Oscars or doing whatever I said I'm doing or doing movie. Like that's cool and fine, but my goal is to give back. Give back and and tell people to look for God because God is everything, man. And that's what He wants me to do. He wants me to tell the world about Him that He's still here. He exists through your good time, bad times. We always being tested. You
Oh
know,
no,
we always being tested. So he wants to see how strong is your faith. And if your faith is strong, man, you're gonna go a long, long way. Hmm.
everybody looks at that a little differently too. I
Yeah.
mean, as far as like back in AA, back in the day, and they said they held the coffee cup up and they said this could be your higher your higher power right here, coffee
Right.
cup.
Right.
It depends on what you need to go ahead and carry you through.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Go ahead.
and then you hit God, and then it's like, well, He
Yeah.
knows me. He knows where I'm at. He knows what I'm doing.
Of course, he's my creator. He created me. So of course that's like your conscience. God is like your conscience. He created you. You're part of Him. What so what you're thinking before you even say it. So yeah, you know what I mean. So um, I live for Him. I live for God, and I live for my family, for my good friends. At the end of the day, we all brothers and sisters, and no matter what anyone says, you know, um, be yourself. Be yourself. Be genuine. And that's what takes you places. When you're humble, people love you, they respect you. You know, and 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 you keep moving that way. A lot of doors will open.
Yes.
And that's just the way I roll. And I just want to be an inspiration to everyone, everyone else. If I can inspire you with what I do, that's why I show my Oscar here, whatever you want to call it, and to inspire people, and get to where you want to get to, because don't let your dream be a dream. Let your Make your dream become a real dream.
See, I have my owls follow me.
Yes, I see them. I see them in the back.
They've always been there ever since I first started doing this.
Awesome.
And I took them down and I put another one up, and it was like, nah, nah. Now we have to put the
Thank you,
owls
Daddy.
back up. But I think that I want to go ahead and thank you for being here. Is there anything that I missed?
Um, not really. I just want to say People can follow me on the Don Vic Show on YouTube. You guys can subscribe. It's a free subscription on YouTube, or you can follow me on Facebook. Um, on Facebook, I have both my shows, the Don Big Show Showdown and the regular Don Big Show. Anybody want to come for an interview, whatever it is, Craig, you know how I do it. Everyone's welcome on my platform, and that's pretty much it. I need more singers. So anyone that feels they can sing or can sing, and you want to be on my show for the Showdown Challenge for a chance to win a prize, you must win six straight wins to get to the finals. And for a chance to win a prize. And if you're interested, hit me up, inbox me. We'll get you on the show, rocking and rolling.
It's been awesome. Thank you very much for being here. It's been an honor to
Thank you, Greg. I
have
appreciate
you
you
on
so
the
much.
show. I
Thank
mean, I don't have to do another show this year now.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Greg. You're awesome.
Okay. And if you hang on, we'll get right back to you. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
So, everybody, good night. God bless. And we'll see you next.